Yo, guys, what's up, and welcome back to Marvelous Chats. My name is Finto.
And I'm Kyle Crunk, and we are talking Titans. This week we have episode 7 titled 51%. Finto, what'd you think?
Um, this episode was a bit of a, I suppose it was a bit of a like an increase from the previous episode. Like the previous episode was probably like one of the worst episodes of the show that we've actually seen. So this
Yeah.
one was a bit better. It's moving in a better direction. But I just feel like there's kind of not a lot happening in the show. Like, I'm kind of just
Yeah.
watching it, and there's stuff happening, but the stuff that's happening, just there's not much reward to it. You're kind of just like, oh, okay, fine, yeah, that's happening, okay, cool. But like, it's just not really leading anywhere. So I know they've got 13 episodes in total, so I just don't know. And again, we haven't seen Donna yet, we haven't seen Raven yet, so I'm
Yep.
just thinking like, there's still a lot to tell. And I don't feel like there's a lot of time with the pacing of the show. So I don't know. Like the episode opens up, and we see Crane meeting up with the crime families of Gotham, and
Yep.
when they see Crane walk in, they all fear him and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like, because as bad as the show is, I actually don't mind Crane as a character and an actor. I think he's quite good. So I thought it was interesting to see him kind of being feared, because we obviously don't haven't seen him as Scarecrow at all. We haven't seen him in
Yeah. He
flashbacks or
even
anything like
makes a
that.
reference that he's like, "You guys don't want the toxin again, do you? You guys?" He's like, "You know what it's like," and they're like, "Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Listen."
he's like, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead already. You would have got a dose of
Oh yeah.
the new fear toxin. You'd be dead already. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Then I suppose the next big thing was that we actually finally got to see Oracle in motion in this episode as well. So for me, I think I was explaining. I think you had asked me about Oracle in a previous episode
Well,
of
we get
our
to see it
review.
in motion and quickly out of motion. Same
True,
freaking episode, dude.
that's true.
Like,
That's true. But
what? Like, we instantly learn her that she's using Oracle again, and then even that, it seems like Oracle's more of this Jarvis AI instead of her. So I don't
yeah,
know. You had kind of explained it to where like she was the brains behind Oracle, which makes it sound kind of cool. And now on
well,
the show, they have it kind of like the computer's doing it all.
in the show, like she is Oracle, like that's her handle, like so that's like her hero name or whatever. So,
Yeah,
but in the show, they kind of use a piece of tech which they call Oracle and not her Oracle, and the piece of tech is kind of similar to the tech that Christian Bale's Batman was using in The Dark Knight. So I thought that was kind of cool, like it's the tech that he uses to find the Joker at the end, and then like he tells Lucius to then destroy it. Like he's like, you're the only one who could destroy it because it's like it's morally not right to be able to access everybody's phones, and it's obviously it's a real concern for privacy, obviously. So
oh yeah. So
it
I
was
agree with what you were saying about Crane, but here's my problem that we have because we're talking about Oracle, so I have to bring this up. Crane, they've given him like obviously he knows the secrets of Batman and all this, but they've almost put him in this like omnipotent position where he also knows who Oracle is and can hack the Oracle system. It's like if Oracle, I don't know. I feel like I don't have too much investment in Oracle, but I feel like anyone that maybe is a fan of Oracle would probably be felt disrespected here because it's like they're just shitting on. Feels like they're just shitting on Oracle,
yeah, I don't
like
know, like
hacked
again,
like so quickly and easily by Crane, who is also in prison. And since he's been out of prison, is already like, oh yeah, I've already hacked you.
yeah, like
I figured you guys were going to use that.
in this show, I suppose Oracle is like a program, but in like the Gotham games and stuff like that, like Oracle is just Barbara, and she basically is just like Bruce's like sidekick, like his Felicity to Oliver Queen, like that sort of thing. She's just the one who
Yeah,
he gets all the information off, like bring up the maps of this, and disable the systems here, and all that stuff. Like it's just a man in the chair story, like that's what she
I
is.
just yeah,
So
I just feel like for he's been out of jail and he's busy. Look how busy he's been since he's been out of jail. He's already perfected a new toxin. He's getting that in the works. He's meeting up with these crime families. Also has time to hack the most sophisticated, supposedly AI ever. That's so strong that it's like they make it seem like it's like even stronger than NSA. Like, they make it seem like, oh, do you want me to search all the unprivate or private networks? They're like both private. Just two. and it's like live action microphones that like mice have swallowed or something. I don't know. They
Giving
just
it
make it seem
all.
like it's this all powerful, yeah, this all powerful program. But he's hacked it on his downtime since he's been out, and it feels like they're almost giving Crane a little bit too much power, and they're like, I don't know. I feel like right now, I guess I just have a salty taste in my mouth because of the overly aggressive plot armor that Dick Grayson has this season. He was shot, and literally, we can just pretend like that hasn't happened at this point. Like,
Yeah.
fully healed up from it. And not only that, like, starting to get, like, more and more close with Barbara, like, the one who ordered him shot. So it's just super weird plot armor, and then it's like almost like a romantic kind of sitcom thing that they're trying to throw in there, like force in there on top of that.
Yeah.
Um,
What
and
did you?
that's all to say that we haven't even talked about the namesake of this episode, which is the Starfire and Blackfire literally learning a little bit more about each other's past. Blackfire mentions, yeah, our parents decided, whenever there was a decision that needed to be made, if 51% said it was good, then that's good enough. It doesn't matter that it's a close margin. And when it came down to it, 51% decided that I was a danger to everyone and I needed to be taken care of. So that
Yeah.
she explains that's the reason why she took out the parents. You kind of see them get this sisterly bond, like she has a little bit more understanding, I suppose, for her.
Yeah, there's like a team up in this episode where the two of them go to interrogate one of the boss family's heads, and then she's like, "Well, I'll work with you guys, but I need you to do a job for me first, reunite me with my lost son." And then they go and basically get the son and bring him back. And then, very cold blooded, she ends up killing the son right in front of them,
Oh yeah,
which I
mid
did.
sentence,
Yeah, I didn't see that
bullet
coming.
to
I
the head.
was like, "Holy shit, this bitch is cold blooded," you
I
know.
will
So I was
say,
like,
Blackfire's costume 10 times better than Starfire.
"Yeah,
Bro, she puts on those bracelets and is just like,
the CGI was
shoo!
CGI was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
sweet. I gotta say, yeah, that was pretty
And then
cool.
like Starfire always has like these costumes on that. It's like, let's put lightning bolts from the 1990s Microsoft Word picture documents. Let's put those lightning bolts on her costume
Yeah,
because that's what it looks like. It's so weird, dude.
yeah, dude. So yeah, like I don't know, like their team up was kind of interesting. Um, I don't really think we need to see much more else out of them for the rest of the season, to be honest. But it seems like now that she's gotten a costume, she's going to be a full fledged member of the Titans. So I suppose we're not getting rid of her. Like, so I suppose we better
Yeah.
get used to her. I kind of like the scene with Beast Boy as well, where he was like searching for clues in Jason's room, and he kind of like morphed again into Beast Boy, and then like was kind of sniffing around the room and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. And then
Later on in the episode, doesn't he have the hand morph in this episode?
I think
He
so,
did.
yeah,
He morphed like his hand a little bit for at some point. I just remember that. Yeah, Beast Boy. Really love how Gar is just getting a little bit more love this season. Feels like
yeah,
last season he was kind of looked over a lot, and this season
yeah,
less
true.
so.
True. Then I suppose there's not really much else in the episode to talk about other than the fact that they kind of had a bit of a cool fight scene with the whole Titans when they were in the factory, kind of trying to take Crane's operation down, which is kind of sweet. And then um, Jason was locked up, and I don't even really remember why he was like tied up and stuff. So um, we're kind
He
of
was tied up because he took the. He was getting ready to leave for Crane. He's like, "Oh yeah, is this the new batch?" And then it turned out it was like a dose.
oh, okay, yeah,
Remember? And then he took that in, then he passed out, and Crane was like,
yeah.
"Settle down, buddy. You're doing things too fast."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like,
Yeah,
wasn't really too interested in that. Again, kind of just stuff happening for the sake of it, but not really having any kind of like like addition to the storyline of the season, I suppose. Then I suppose the Titans kind of win the day. They go back to Wayne Manor and are toasting a few drinks, and then Dick and Barb end up getting together, and that's kind of where the episode ends. So,
yeah. It's just so like things.
who hasn't Dick Grayson been with in this show? I
Well,
might
not
add,
only that,
because
it just feels like they don't read the room right. Like
yeah,
they're literally celebrating while like people are on the run. They're like, "Oh, don't worry about it." It's like they don't have a sense of urgency for stuff during certain parts of the season. Like they very quickly move on from like, let's say I got shot last night. The next day, I'm chilling talking with the person that ordered me shot. Not
yeah,
even acting. It's like the pacing in that sense seems so weird.
yeah. I think there's like some time passing as well, and we don't even really realize it. Like, as in, I think there was one scene with Jason where I saw him and he looks pretty beat up, and then in the next scene he looks pretty healed, and I'm thinking like, have weeks passed? I don't even really know.
Yeah,
So I don't
it's
know.
it's super strange. We'll have to
Yeah,
see what they do.
yeah.
We're at the pretty much the midpoint of the season here, and we'll have to see what they do with the remainder. I'm really hoping they come out and have a strong second half of the season and just
They
knock it
need
out of the park.
they really need to. Yeah, 100%.
I think if they don't at least produce out of these remaining, what do we have, 6 episodes? If they don't at least produce half of these 6 episodes, 3 of them being killer episodes, even like they need to be the best episodes of the season, I feel like they might just risk not. I don't know. Are they re up for a fourth season already? Like
I don't
they might
know.
risk.
I think HBO do things differently. Like I think like it's not like the CW where they get
Yeah.
renewed like kind of 4 episodes into the season, you know. So I don't know.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know. I think this is they're in risky territory. We'll have to see what they do at the end of the season because
yeah, it's interesting. Like I think
I think I've been
like
happy
this.
with like 2 episodes this whole season.
Yeah, like I've noticed, like there's a lot of nice cars in the show and stuff like that. Like so, and like the budget looks like it's really high. So I don't know, is the show must be making the money. I don't know how. Like
The
I don't know how. And like even I was looking at the IMDb ratings, and the episodes like seem to be kind of rating quite high, like in the eights and stuff, and like high sevens, except for one or two. So I don't know. People are liking it. I am just
Maybe it's
not
just
really feeling it.
for a super casual audience because even me, who's not even as deeply invested into it as say someone like you this season, who has like Red Hood as a, but like I grew up on Teen Titans. I grew up on a version of Titans that I'll always hold near and dear, and just to see how this is being done and how the first season and the second season drew me into this show, they're equally losing me on
Yeah,
this season.
yeah.
They're pushing me away this season. And it just, I hate to see it. It's just really weird.
How do you rate the episode out of 10?
A 4.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I'd like, yeah, to be honest, like I wouldn't rate it a terrible amount higher. I think I'd maybe give this episode like maybe a 6. Like
Yeah.
I can see they're kind of building to a few things, but again, it's not very interesting. It's not very gripping, but it could pay off towards the end of the season. I
Here's
don't know.
here's the thing that's hurting them every time, and this is not just necessarily against them. This is something I will say in every platform I have a chance to say it. The industry is doing a terrible job with trailers. The one reason I was so excited for this season is something that we've seen in the trailer, which is Rachel Raven in some sort of white costume. And we are, well, like I just mentioned a minute ago, we're over the halfway. We're at the 1.5. We're at the point 5, point 6 mark of the season. We're over halfway through the season, right? We haven't seen her yet. And she's one of the main Titans. And one of the biggest allures to the show was like learning her backstory because as a kid seeing Teen Titans, she just shows up as Raven, right? You never know how she got that way, or at least I didn't. Um,
Yeah,
it's one of the main draws for this season to me, and it's not there.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, look,
Uh,
we'll have to wait till next week and see what happens.
yeah, we were talking Titans. If you guys have any other thoughts, if you disagree with us, if you actually like this episode, if you're someone who is just really enjoying this season, please tell us why. Continue the discussion down in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Obviously our opinions aren't the be all say all. Like the episode if you didn't, dislike it if you didn't, and share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. We appreciate you, and we hope to see you guys next week.
Yeah, please don't dislike the video. Bye.